Common Core is hindering the educational process. The Common Core standards do not guarantee improvements in testing on the global scale, therefore, they should not be implemented. As future parents and potential educators, we will all be affected by Common Core if it continues to exist. Our children and students may altogether lose interest in learning, causing possible detriment to our society. First, I will inform you on what exactly Common Core is. Common Core was adopted in the United States in 2010, and it is a set of high-quality academic standards in mathematics and English language arts and literacy, as according to corestandards.org. Three main reasons for the ineffectiveness of Common Core standards are the government's involvement, the lack of student and teacher relationships, and the reliance on passing tests. First, we will look at the government's involvement. Standardized tests are federally driven instead of locally driven. And according to Sarah Jean Seaman from townhall.com, the standards were relentlessly marketed as voluntary and state-led. It was this very phrasing that lured lawmakers to agree to the scheme. Next, we will look at the lack of teacher and student relationship. This relationship is diminished because of the reliance on passing tests, and it adds an unnecessary amount of stress to the parents, students, as well as teachers. And according to Julie Guevara, who is a student at a high school in New Mexico, the testing is taking away from our overall education. Next, we will look at the reliance on tests. And according to Robin Hiller and Anthony Cody from US News, tests have become increasingly central to the work of educators and affect their relationships with students. Based on a single exam, students can be told that they are below grade level, and schools and their teachers may be chastised as failures. In an interview with an Oklahoma teacher, Bobby Faulkner, it is stated that not all students are the same. The Common Core state standard assessments are much more complex than the normal standardized tests, and there will be a higher high school dropout rate because some of the students will not be as successful as students with the complexity of the Common Core standards. And again, according to US News, students are asked questions beyond their ability to understand, and therefore they are reduced to guesswork. Due to the community and the teacher opinions of Common Core state standards, some states have found solutions. All states should repeal the standards, and Louisiana, Indiana, and Oklahoma have already done so. And parents and students in Colorado, Pennsylvania, and New York have opted out of the exams that are aligned with the Common Core standards. And alternatives for improvement are reduction of class sizes, an increase in the amount of counselors and librarians, and just the utilization of the professional knowledge that teachers already possess. And according to US News, this year some 40,000 students in New York opted out of the Common Core tests. This movement started with parents, but it has been embraced by many teachers across the state as well. It takes a lot to get educators to rebel against standardized tests, but when they see their students being harmed, they must object. Now imagine if Common Core is continued, it can lead to a decrease in test scores as well as a decrease in the motivation level of students. Each time a state has used one of the two tests aligned with the Common Core, student scores have dropped dramatically. And another student from a New Mexico school, actually Highland High School, Connor Guinea, states that we want school people to be able to teach their kids and we want learning to happen. It's what's supposed to happen here, and people can't learn if no one is coming to class because of how dull these tests and the curriculum is. Now, what can you do? If your state is utilizing Common Core standardized tests, you can write a letter to a state official and just tell your position on the state standardized tests. And if enough people band together and speak out against Common Core standardized tests, then this can be made into a change that can potentially be better for your children and the school districts. Education is meant to prepare students for society, not pass the test that is rating whether they are good enough. Tests shouldn't be what determines who will be a productive member of society and who will not. Not all students learn the same, and they need the one-on-one educational connection from a teacher, not from a letter bubble on an answer sheet.